You've found someone online, and you're convinced they're your soulmate. You've exchanged endless messages, had late-night video calls, and shared intimate secrets. But what if everything you've built is a lie? What if the person you're planning to marry isn't who they said they were? Stay with me until the end to hear a true story that could change everything you believe about online relationships. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Or please complete our 1,000 subscribers. The world has changed, and so have relationships. In the age of social media, dating apps, and virtual communication, meeting someone online has become a common starting point for many modern-day relationships. But there's something we don't always consider when we fall in love behind a screen. Can we truly trust that the person on the other side is real, or are they hiding something far darker? Meet Emily, a young woman in her late 20s, fresh out of a bad breakup and ready to try again. She was hesitant at first, having heard horror stories about online dating, but after some encouragement from friends, she created a profile on a popular app. Within days, she matched with someone who seemed to check all her boxes: Michael, a charming, funny, and attentive man. His profile was well crafted, his messages sweet, and their conversations quickly became the highlight of her days. They talked about everything: their favorite movies, their childhood memories, even their dreams for the future. The connection was electric, the chemistry undeniable. They both agreed that they wanted to take things to the next level. So, after a couple of months of texting and video chatting, they made plans to meet in person. However, life got in the way. First, it was Michael's work schedule, then family matters, and before long, a year had passed without them meeting face to face. Emily was disappointed, but Michael always had an explanation that made sense. Despite their growing frustration, she still believed in him, telling herself that love is patient and good things come to those who wait. But things began to feel off. There were strange inconsistencies in Michael's stories. He would mention places he'd been, but when Emily asked for details, he'd get vague or change the subject. Sometimes his texts would be delayed for hours or even days, only to be followed by lengthy, apologetic messages. Emily convinced herself that it was just the stresses of life that kept him distracted, but doubt started creeping in. The breaking point came one evening when Emily asked Michael to send a picture of himself in a new shirt she had bought for him. He hesitated for hours before finally replying with an image that looked oddly edited, almost like it had been taken from a magazine. It wasn't a genuine photo, it was a stock image, and that's when Emily's gut instinct kicked in. She felt sick to her stomach, a gnawing suspicion growing stronger with every passing moment. Still, she refused to believe it. She confronted Michael, asking him directly if he was being truthful about who he was. His reply was quick and reassuring, too reassuring. He claimed that it was all just a misunderstanding, that his camera had broken, and he'd used an old photo for the time being. Emily wanted to trust him, so she did, but the trust wasn't as strong as it once was. Then, one fateful evening, everything changed. Emily received a message from an unknown number. It was a woman, someone who claimed to be a friend of Michael's, and she had some startling information to share. The woman revealed that Michael wasn't who he said he was, and everything he'd told her was a lie. He had been using fake pictures, pretending to be a successful entrepreneur, when in reality, he was living in a rundown apartment, unemployed and alone. She explained that she had been trying to warn Emily for months, but didn't know how to get in touch. Devastated, Emily did some digging. She searched Michael's social media accounts, checked his supposed business website, and discovered that everything was fabricated. His entire life was a web of lies. The pictures he had shared were taken from a variety of sources, some from random strangers, others from models on stock photography sites. There was no Michael. There was only a persona, carefully crafted to lure her in. The shock of it all was overwhelming. Emily felt betrayed not just by him, but by herself. How had she fallen for it? How had she allowed herself to be swept away by someone who wasn't real? In the days that followed, she went through a roller coaster of emotions: anger, confusion, and deep sadness. The person she thought she loved didn't exist. The future they had talked about together was nothing more than an illusion. But Emily learned an important lesson from the heartbreak. She realized that trust, while essential, must be built on reality, not just words on a screen. Love doesn't exist in a vacuum. It needs to be grounded in the tangible world. And while it's easy to get lost in the fantasy of online romance, it's crucial to be cautious, to take your time, and to always verify the truth before committing to someone completely. She ended things with Michael, though it wasn't easy. But over time, Emily healed, and eventually, she found love in a way she had never expected. Through real-life connections, with people she could see and touch, people who had no reason to hide behind a screen. So, before you rush into a relationship with someone you met online, take a step back. Make sure the person you're falling for is someone who truly exists, and that their love for you is built on honesty, not deception. Don't be so quick to believe everything you see online. The truth is often more complicated than it appears. If you found this story eye-opening and it made you rethink your online relationships, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay safe, stay smart, and make sure the person you're falling for is real.